Item number 412. Designation Protocol Theta. There is a rule for working deep underwater. It isn't about oxygen, and it isn't about pressure. It is about the voice. To survive at 300 feet, divers breathe a mixture of helium and oxygen. It keeps their blood from boiling, but it changes their voice. It shrinks the vocal cords. It makes a grown man sound like a squeaky toy. At Ethelgard Platform 9, if your partner speaks to you and his voice sounds deep, do not open the airlock, because a deep voice means he isn't breathing the air.
C. He was waiting for his partner, Jens. Jens was outside, welding a crack on the rig's leg. Cale sat by the moon pool, the open hole in the floor that leads straight down into the black ocean. The water in the pool was calm, black and oily. Then, bubbles broke the surface. Jens climbed up the ladder. He was dripping wet. His heavy yellow helmet was still locked onto his neck ring. He didn't say a word. Cale checked the pressure gauge. "You good, Jens?" Jens didn't answer. He just stood by the open hole, staring at the wall. Cale felt a cold prickle on his neck. In saturation diving, you always check in. It's the law. Jens, sound off. I need a mic check. Jens turned his head slowly. The visor of his helmet was fogged up. Cale couldn't see his eyes. Jens raised a gloved hand and pointed at the airlock door. He wanted Cale to open it. "Take off your helmet, Jens." Jens shook his head. He pointed at the door again, more urgent this time. Cale grabbed a heavy wrench from the bench. "I said, sound off. Let me hear your voice. If you don't squeak, you don't come in." Jens froze. The thing inside the suit seemed to consider this. Slowly, the gloved hands reached up to the helmet, not to unlock it, but to tap on the glass. Tap, tap, tap. Then the radio crackled to life. A voice came through the speaker. It wasn't the high-pitched squeak of a diver on helium. It was a voice deep as the ocean floor. "Open the door, Cale." It wasn't Jens. No human lung could produce that sound that deep at this pressure. Cale hit the emergency seal on the inner hatch. He watched the figure in the yellow suit turn around and walk back into the moon pool. It sank into the black water without a splash. They never found Jens, but sometimes on Channel 4, Cale still hears a deep, heavy voice calling his name from the dark. Case file 0004 closed. Status: lost at sea.